pull for the foot.
Team Roper TV presents Straight Talk with O Matic Pro Staff Chad Mathis.
There's basically two different ways to handle a steer, okay? And a lot of times when we go to the roping, we don't pay attention to what's going on, okay? I have a lot of students that come that want to do everything the same every trip, okay? But as far as handling cattle, you get yourself in trouble on, most people get themselves in trouble on slower cattle, okay? Because slower cattle don't leave the corner until you actually get a pull on them, okay? And so let's run this scenario. If I've got a fresh steer, and I roll up to the fresh steer and I rope and I stay here and I turn that and I get that steer's fresh head, where's that fresh steer go? Keeps going around me, right? He's got plenty of momentum. So I can stay behind a fresh steer like this and keep him at a 45-degree angle across the arena, and he stays out there, okay? That's how you get him to go straight across the arena. One of the biggest mistakes that I see guys make is you're roping some older cattle that are a little bit heavy or draggy on the corner, and so they go up there and they rope and they sit, okay? Now what's the only thing that's going to make that steer leave the corner? The only thing that's going to make him leave is you pulling him, right? Well, when you pull a dead weight, if I had a dead weight behind me and it was off to a 45-degree angle and I take off this way, where does that dead weight eventually end up? Straight behind me, right? Okay. So if that steer is a dead weight out there and I'm here at a 45-degree angle, okay, now I've got the steer turned. Where does he have to go before I actually start moving him? He has to go clear over here behind me, okay? So now this is a big deal for healers, because now I'm over here healing, and so I'm trying to ride to where the steer's going, okay? So I ride to here, waiting to take a shot. He hasn't really moved out yet. What's the steer do? Tries to get behind the head horse. And so there's basically two different ways to handle a steer, and you've got to know what you've got. That's why it's so important for a head horse to be versatile. If you want to stay here and check up and get that 45-degree angle, you need to be able to do that. But if you're roping some bigger, older cattle, you need to be able to go up there, rope. Let's do that again. You need to be able to go up there and rope, dally. Now where do I need to go before I go left? I need to go forward to here before I make contact. Now what happens when I let him have his shoulder? Look, now he's already straight behind me and going, and my healer doesn't have to guess where he's got to go. Does that make sense to everybody? We rope a lot. We rope a lot of steers. You know, the price of cattle, $1,000 a head for a roping steer. You're going to be roping. We're going to see some of these steers that we're seeing now next year. And that's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to get there, get straight across, and make that handle easier for your healer.
Be sure to continue joining us for Team Roper TV's Straight Talk, where the best pros give us the best tips.